The curvature tool is a little bit different than the pen tool, and it's a little bit easier to create shapes with smoother curves for a lot of people. So go ahead and go to File, New, create a new document where we have some room to work with, and then select the curvature tool on the Tools panel. You'll notice the shortcut right there. It's the Shift plus the tilde sign. And how this works is if you just click and then click and let go somewhere else, you'll notice it has this rubber band preview. So it can give you preview what this curve is going to be like, and it's acting a little bit differently than the pen tool. So if I click, and then if I kept going along, it's pretty easy to create almost a perfect circle here, just depending on what kind of shape you wanted. If you wanted it a little bit more lopsided, we could do that. And with the curvature tool, there's a couple shortcuts to know. So what we want to do is when you first click, if you hold down Alt, you can create a corner point instead of regular curved anchor point. So what that means is if I just click and then hold down Alt and click, now I'm just creating straight paths with points in between. So if I let go of Alt on the PC or Option on the Mac, then it does that curve again. You can also do the same thing by double clicking. So if I double click, you can also go back to other points and just hover over them. You'll notice that we can move them even after we've drawn the shape. And if you press Control on the PC or Command on the Mac, it will toggle it to a selection tool. You can just kind of move the shapes around like that. And let's say I want to add more path to this shape here. What we can do is select it and then go to the curvature tool again. And notice we can keep going from where we left off like so. And another shortcut to be familiar with is the Shift. It's going to change the angle a little bit. See how it constrains it a little bit compared to not holding on to Shift. And you can also toggle these points between corner points and just regular curved points. So if I just go up here and double click, it changed it a little bit. And I'll double click here. It changes it, toggles it back and forth. So if I don't want this to be a regular corner point like it is here, just double click it and then it turns it into this curved point. So the curvature tool is pretty useful for just creating these naturally curved shapes and paths. And it's a little bit easier to use to create these curves for some people compared to the pen tool. But just remember those shortcuts when we want to create different curved paths or straight paths. And as we're using this, it can be a useful tool to create logos and other illustrations.